Year 3. Today is another poetry lesson, and this time we're going to be looking at quatrains. But before we do that, let's go back and just have a little revision from the other work that we have done the last two lessons. We've looked at rhyming patterns and we've looked at poetic metre. And in the poem that we're going to use for revision today, it's called Anna Maria. Anna Maria sat on the fire. The fire was too hot, so she sat on the pot. The pot was too round, so she sat on the ground. The ground was too flat, so she sat on the cat, and the cat ran away with Maria on her back. Bit of a fun rhyme. Let's have a look at our rhyming pattern. Anna Maria sat on the fire. That's an A. The fire was too hot, so she sat on the pot. B and a B, because hot and pot rhyme. The pot was too round, so she sat on the ground. Round and ground rhyme, so they get a C because they don't rhyme with any of the words previously. The ground was too flat, so she sat on the cat. B and B because flat and cat rhyme and don't rhyme with any of the ones earlier. And the cat ran away with Maria on her back. So those two don't rhyme, and so they've got their own letters E and F. Let's have a look at the metre. Anna Maria. Maria has got 3 syllables there. Maria. Sat on the fire, 9 syllables. The fire was too hot, so she sat on the pot. 5 syllables and 6 syllables. And again, you see that same pattern happening. 5, 6, 5, 6. Pot was too round, so she sat on the ground. The ground was too flat, so she sat on the cat. And the cat ran away with Maria on her back. Okay, so quatrains is a rather strange looking word. And a quatrain is a poem with 4 lines or a poem with verses that have 4 lines. So they might be longer poems, but each group of the 4 lines forms a verse. Quatre, and I'm no expert at speaking French, but it is the French word for the number 4. The 4 most common rhyming patterns for a quatrain are A, B, B, A, and A, B, C, B. So let's have a look at some examples. Here's the A rhyming pattern. Some may like a cat wearing a fancy hat. Others may like a rat carrying a bat. Okay, let's go back to that one again. Let's look at the syllables. Some may like a cat. That's 5. Wearing a fancy hat. That's 6. Others may like a rat. 6. Carrying a bat. 5. Okay. Let's look at the metre. Some is stressed. Some may like a cat wearing a fancy hat, but stressing the first and the last syllables. Others may like a rat carrying a bat. Let's look at an A-B-B rhyming pattern. Tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light, but stood out in the open plain and always got its share of rain. Okay, you can see fight and light has got an A, and then plain and rain has got a B and B. A plain is a flat section of land. This could also be described as 2 rhyming couplets, but both are related to the same topic. Okay, so it's like a single poem, but it's using A, B, B. The tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light. Can you hear the stress on those syllables? The tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light, but stood out in the open plain and always got its share of rain. Okay, now we've got one with A, B, A, B. Sometimes I dream that I can fly. I lift and flap my arms just so, and soon I'm soaring to the sky, graceful like a bird I go. And so we've got fly and sky, so that's the A pattern, and the B pattern, so and go. So that one is an example of A, B. If we listen to our meter, sometimes I dream that I can fly. I lift and flap my arms just so, and soon I'm soaring to the sky, graceful like a bird I go. So every second stress, the stress is on every second syllable. That's an example of the ABAB rhyming pattern. And the last one was an ABCB rhyming pattern. And this one is the nursery rhyme of Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. So lamb doesn't rhyme with anything else, so it's got its own A. But the B rhymes with snow and go. And then the third line, went, doesn't rhyme with other than any of the others. So again, we've got that A, B, C, B pattern. Okay, your job is to write 4 quatrains, each one using a different rhyme pattern so that you have written one of each type. Okay, and we talked about what those rhyme patterns were. One should have a rhyming pattern of A. Another should have the rhyming pattern of A, One should have a rhyming pattern of A, and one should have a rhyming pattern of A, B, C, B. So you're going to need 4 lines, okay, and each of the poems having one of those rhyming patterns. Have your best one ready to share in the Zoom or at school tomorrow. And for extension work, see if you can write your quatrains using poetic meter as well. So listening for that stressed syllables. And remember to keep your poetry appropriate for school. Okay, now I know that was a bit of a quick lesson, zipping through those different types of rhyming patterns. But if you need to go back and have a look at the video again, it's always there in YouTube for you to go back and look at. Just click on the link again in Google Classroom. Don't forget to bring your work to school or to Zoom so that we can share them tomorrow.